I'm not telling the staff that we're on YouTube, just the podcast.
Yeah, that's probably the best.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how I can let them know that.
It's been a long week, right? Are you ready to wind down? Why not? It's time for the Wine Time Fridays podcast with Shelley and Phil. Neither are sommeliers, but both have a deep passion for life, each other, and of course, delicious wine. And now, here to talk about this week over a glass of wine is Shelley and Phil. It's wine time.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Wine Time Fridays with Shelley and Phil on this Friday, Shelley, November 3rd.
No.
Yes, it is.
Oh, yes, it is. All right.
It's in your notes.
Well, it's
Friday, November 3rd, episode
All right.
185.
Yes, here we go.
Okay, you want to get this right? Happy Friday, Shelley. It's wine time.
It's wine time.
Yay. Well, this is starting off great. We just started recording. We've got Syrah and Mark Lathrop here from Liberty Lake Wine Cellars. And Sarah was laughing going into the start. I think we're going to have a really fun episode. We had the opportunity, about 5-6 weeks ago, of sitting down with you guys on your outside patio and chatting a little bit, talking about getting you guys on as guests.
When it was warm.
When it was
When
warm,
there was
Great
no
night,
snow
yeah.
on the ground.
When it was summer 3 weeks ago.
maybe even 2.5.
Yeah.
I do want to ask this though, before I forget, because I was going to ask this as we were setting up, but you're right. No questions until we hit record. When we pulled up, and it's mid-30s as we're recording this, it's going to be dropping below 20 tonight as we're recording this, but we saw some wine barrels on the parking lot. Do they have wine in them?
They do not.
Okay.
Phew.
That would make sense. Actually, that could be a loaded question. I can see Mark going, well, they do. We don't want people knowing that. But glad they don't.
I do cold stabilization out there for the whites.
Oh, but do you really?
Yep.
Mhm.
I just roll tanks out.
But that's good.
Yeah.
Natural. I can't
Yeah.
tell if he's kidding or not. He's got this
It's
little.
just got to be
grit-
between
grit-
30 and 18. So at some point it gets there and
Yeah.
2 or 3 days and then you're good.
I love the idea of and doing the research. We know that you don't do a lot of tinkering per se. You get the grapes, you crush the grapes, you put some yeast in it, and you let it ferment and put it in the bottle. That's a very,
That's
very
all.
simplistic,
Anyone can make wine then.
well, very simplistic way. But I mean, you don't do it. You don't add sugar. You don't add water.
Mhm.
All of this tinkering that other winemakers, if they want to do that, great. But you guys don't do that, and you're still doing this step with your white wines using nature.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool.
It's cheaper than a glycol tank for sure.
It is. It
And,
very much
and if
is.
you look around the room, there's no stainless in here. So
No,
just
all
skip
oak.
that.
And we came from a townhouse that had no anything put into it to make wine. So you had to get creative and figure out how
Yeah.
to do things. So
Yeah.
we just kept doing it the same way here.
Well, I will officially now welcome both of you to the Wine Time Fridays podcast. Thank you for joining us. I think it would be apropos, since right now there's no wine in any of our glasses.
Yeah.
That's a bad way of starting. So maybe we could start with our first wine, and then
Which one did you start?
we'll start doing some storytelling.
Start with Tempranillo.
Okay.
Now, it's funny you should say this, but we have International Tempranillo Day is this coming Thursday, the 9th of November.
We had no idea. I'm just kidding.
Well, look, sometimes I'm actually organized. Thank you so very much. And I will show this to the camera. We have a 2020 Liberty Lake Wine Cellars Tempranillo from Red Mountain. There we go. Go like that. There we are. Beautiful. And I want to make sure we don't cover anybody's faces. Perfect. So we should toast this up, and then let's start conversating.
You don't know this one either.
To health,
Cheers.
wealth, and abundance, gratitude, romance, and
Peace on earth.
beautiful. This has got a great nose.
So this just won a platinum yesterday at the Great Northwest Wine Platinum Invitational.
Oh,
Just yesterday.
Just yesterday. Yep.
wow.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Awards are not new for you guys.
No.
You guys win some awards.
Well, you have to enter to win them.
Yes, you do. And that comes with the price.
But you have to be invited to this one
Yes.
You do have to be invited to this one. This is you have to win a gold medal
somewhere else.
somewhere else. And then they go out and they scan all the competitions, and then they present you with a spreadsheet of what you're going to enter. It's kind of a racket. to tell you the
Really?
truth. They're like, here's all your medals you won. And they pre-fill out your invoice and everything.
You know, it's
Wow.
interesting because, Shelley, you dance with the divas, and there are times where the parade hasn't even started yet, and John will come by and like, we won this medal for best performance group. I'm like, are you the only one, or do they just want to get to the bar as quick as possible?
Yeah.
But it is kind of interesting that
Yeah.
I
Somebody made that joke to me, college friend of mine. We have the highest scoring Carmenere for wine enthusiasts made
North America.
made in North America.
Wow.
And his comment was, well, is it the only Carmenere made in North America?
It's
I-
not though.
It's not.
No, I was like, there's plenty of Washington wineries that are
But
making Carmenere.
same concept.
Yeah, well, but look, highest scored Carmenere made in North America. That's pretty impressive too.
It won a double platinum this week in the same competition.
Wow. See, I didn't have to read that whole other story about the 7 platinums
Yeah.
because we have new information.
That was 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago we won. It was our first time being allowed to enter into that competition, and we got to enter 7, and all 7 won. So that
Wow.
was
That's amazing.
Yeah.
that was pretty fun.
That's what did they say? The first time
Ever. Yeah.
in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This year we went 3 for 10.
3 for
Hey,
10.
look,
So-
in the major leagues,
Now you're
300 is
disappointed,
not
right?
bad.
And like, okay, yeah, you're batting 300, but my rosé won for the first time.
Ah,
And
nice.
the old owner who I learned to make wine from didn't make rosé, so that was all on me to learn how to make rosés. And
your rosé is made
Kiona Estate. It's
Ca-
Kiona,
but-
Sangiovese.
from Sangiovese.
Yeah.
Oh, kind of. That's a go-to varietal to do a rosé. Is
Yeah, because the
Sangiovese, yeah.
acidities are
Yeah.
higher. It makes really snappy.
Washington rosés out of Sanjo they're pretty good.
I
But-
think Bernard
Yeah.
Griffin made
Yes,
their name with rosé.
I can see the label.
Yeah, little-
Barnard, Griffin, and
Yep.
yep. Yeah.
They might make 10, 20,000 cases. So,
Yeah, so you guys are about 2,500 to 2,800. Pretty good, huh, Shelley? Cases generally.
Yeah, so Reverend, what will happen this year?
Yes.
yeah, this year was light. We ended up at 2,600 cases.
Oh,
No,
okay.
Not too bad.
Last year we did 3,400.
Okay.
I mean, you can see behind us. So
Yeah.
that's our normal is, those 3. And then we did that extra last year.
Oh, okay.
And then we do, just a couple whites, which are sitting behind us. So that's all the rosé I do is
Isn't
That's
that one big
100.
tent?
120 cases. You don't want to be sitting on last year's rosé.
No.
So, how long will a rosé
Remember
typically?
that Chardonnay at the gas station?
Oh my God.
That's never
This was-
sounds good.
No. We were
2002
coming back. Yes, we were coming back from somewhere. Where was it, Shelley? Where
Is it Canada, maybe?
I don't know. It was somewhere where we stopped. It was on I-90, just off
Oh,
of
I
it.
think it was Buttonwillow,
Yes, Button Willow. And we found a place and had a little
California.
gas station store that
Yeah.
sold wine. I'm like, well, thank you. And I started looking down the aisle, and not only is it not very good to see an O2 Chardonnay
Right?
for $18, but to see all the dust on it, I'm like, I didn't get that right.
No.
No.
You
got-
almost should have just to
Well.
check it out.
I mean, it could have been amazing.
It could have.
Yeah.
It also could have sucked. And when
Mhm.
you're on a road trip, you don't
Yeah.
want that
Didn't
window
you
to
buy the
get destroyed.
2008 One, no, that
I
wasn't.
I mean, I don't know, but my question stands about a rosé. Can you build one to last more than a year or two?
Well, that little saying is more of you don't want to be selling last year's rosé because you don't want to back up vintages of rosé. It's not good marketing. I think you could. I mean, your acidity levels are definitely high enough.
Yeah,
We've
that
had
they'd
some
hold.
leftover that we've tried, and it's still been
Yeah,
good
I
a
mean,
couple
I
years
have
later.
16s and up in our library. We definitely keep them in our library.
nice.
Yeah.
Is your library your home?
No, it's those three
Okay, good.
pallets right there. But
Yeah.
yes, there's some
But usually, typically for us, rosé lasts through September, October. This year it was a little quicker because I think last 2022 was a great one, so it went a
it
little
was
faster.
going fast.
But usually we have it through Halloween.
You say you make a couple hundred cases?
And now,
125.
125.
now it's gone.
It's gone.
It's
yeah.
gone. It won a platinum too. Yeah. Well, I said that. But
So I'm loving this because sometimes we our guests they're not excited to, you guys, yeah, I want platinum on that one. In fact, we want 3 or 4 more.
It was yesterday, so it's
yeah, it's
top of
fresh.
mind. Yeah.
Fresh.
Well, and
Yeah.
that's super cool. Yeah,
And
and
now you're the winery to watch.
Or the
Now
winery.
you're the winery
Yeah.
to watch even more.
And the winery of the year through
Washington State Wine Awards.
Yeah.
what did
Which
you,
is the
2022.
Seattle
used to be
Wine
Seattle.
Awards.
Yeah.
I've got down here the Fabulous 4
Yes.
Washington State Winery. Is that the one you're talking
Yes.
about?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I had not heard of the Fabulous 4. What is that?
4 of us were chosen.
Okay.
And I think it started where it was from different areas and then they just combined them all. So maybe it was Idaho, Washington, Oregon. I'm not sure 100% about that.
But if you look at the 4 this year, it seems like they're picking different categories. There's a big one, small. We're probably the
smallest. Well, Quiddity was probably the smallest.
Eastern Washington, Western Washington, Central.
Okay.
We're not sure exactly why we won, but we did win a bunch. We got a bunch of golds in the competition. So I'm assuming that's what it was.
Yeah. I mean, it as you were alluding to before, it's kind of a racket on some of these, but I don't care. An award is an award is an award.
Yeah.
And it's something you can kind of stand proud.
Yeah.
And I
Sure.
I usually, because I get to choose which ones we enter, because
Sure.
Sarah doesn't care. But I do choose ones that kind of make their own content as the competition's going on. That's easily shareable, makes Sarah's job easier to market our wines. For instance, we sent stuff to Sunset and our Cab Franc one, and it was like, okay, they listed it on their website, 3 clicks down, nobody cares. Wasn't in the magazine, and it was expensive to
Yeah.
enter.
Yeah.
So
Ah.
I'm not doing that again.
No, that's not good marketing.
But you pointed out, these are not things that you just say, here. First of all, that's a cost of entry in and of itself, is giving the wine up, right?
Mhm.
So you have that. And then they also want you to write a check half the time.
Yeah.
And there's that.
Yeah.
So to your point, that is a form of marketing, especially, well, probably only if you win some awards, because then you can market that way. And as Shelley and I are marketers, we appreciate the reverse engineering to do that.
Yeah. Well, and I will say I was against competitions. We bought the winery and we didn't have any money. And he's saying, let's enter these. And I'm like, this is stupid. We don't have any, we can't pay for this. And it has been, to his credit, nice to know that every year the wine is, people still think it's good. So it has been helpful in that way, that it's peers that are trying the wine and blind tests that we're finding out that they're still doing well, not just our friends and family that of course are going to say our wine's good. But
2, 4,
So your wines
6.
are made from Red Mountain fruit, the main label, right?
There's only one wine made not from Red Mountain grapes, and that's our Sangiovese, our red Sangiovese.
Okay.
And that's from Candy Mountain, which logistically is almost the same place. It's the next bump over.
You just throw a rock and you almost hit it.
Yeah, I think as the crow flies, it's 5 miles.
Oh, there you
or
go.
So.
Got it.
But I haul my own fruit, so I'm the one rotating the harvest bins and all that stuff. So it's logistically it's the same for me.
Right.
Different spot though. I did Red Mountain and Candy Mountain San Joe this year, and the Red Mountain stuff is, you can tell it's punchy. It
Really?
is, yeah, it's
got a little bit more weight. Okay.
Yeah.
So
more weight.
5 miles, give or take
Mm-hmm.
a few feet. Is the terroir really that different?
The dirt's different.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Interesting.
But it's different on Red Mountain too, from the top of the hill mountain to the bottom.
I think we learned that in August with our Red Mountain swing through that there are actually microclimates within vineyard blocks.
Yes, and it's
Mm-hmm.
4,000 acres. It's not very much. And
Right.
we have the dirt samples from our vineyards, and they're different colors and different consistencies.
It's sandy
which
and
is-
coarser up top.
Yeah.
And then as you go to the bottom, our main Bordeaux vineyard is Scootney Flat. Scootney is a type of soil, and it's chalky white stuff from your
Really?
shoes.
Oh, yeah, wow.
And some of it has like a dusty finish almost.
Isn't that? I just think
It's
it's so
amazing.
fun.
Probably because it ends up in the bin when they're picking. But
Well,
Maybe.
it could be. But when we were down in Paso at Peachy Canyon, he's talking about some of the different barrels and how they, the term is when you put fire on them and char them.
What?
toast them.
Thank you.
Good thing I'm here.
It is a good thing that I'm not, there's Shelley's right there. Anyway, when you're toasting them, they have levels of toastiness,
Yes.
and then it depends on where the barrel came from and the terroir with those trees.
Yeah.
I mean, there's terroir everywhere.
yeah, so as a small lot producer, nothing we do is more than 200 cases of bottling.
Okay.
Our bottling line's set up that way, and we're doing a lot of small lots. We're turning over stuff. So my challenge is to get a lot of complexity into a small lot. And, there's 4 clones of cab in the cab. But what you're talking about with the oak, I bought this year from Quintessence a barrel that has a blend of all 4 of the forests in France.
Really?
So you're getting all that complexity in one barrel.
I
That's
have
just,
I have to
one
ask.
more thing in the toolbox.
Yeah.
It's been in there only 6 weeks. I don't know how it is, but
Well, but I have to ask. So, is that barrel more expensive than a regular French barrel because they?
yes.
Okay. Yeah. It's just, it's just so impressive, everything that goes into this stuff. What we have in our glass right now is a 2020 Red Mountain Merlot.
2019.
Is a guy even wrote it down right as 2019.
2020 is next.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna do a side by side.
Yeah.
We would call that a minor, a little itty bitty vertical. Our wine word of the week last week was vertical, and there you are. There, you're gonna love our wine word of the week this week. Do you know what it is?
I don't.
No, you didn't read that far down in the notes.
I read it, but it was
Oh,
a
this is
long
good.
day.
So hashtag cheersing to this 2019 Merlot.
So we brought this one out.
We saved this one for you.
We
'cause
saved
it
this one.
sold
This
out of
this
it,
one
yes.
sold out.
Oh, thanks.
The 20's coming out next week. So, like most wineries, we contract by the ton or lease by the acre, or we're not a state, obviously. But Merlot we do by the acre and Malbec, because in Red Mountain, if you hang a big crop of Merlot and Malbec, it's hot enough. It will put out great wine. Doesn't matter.
Right.
So 2019 was the first year we did this by the acre, and I show up thinking there's going to be 4.5 tons to pick up, and there's 6.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hello.
I come home, we're crushing the parking lot. I don't have the barrels to put this in.
This is where it's nice to have friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, our friends at Barrister
Yeah.
sent the barrel salesman to us while we're crushing
Oh,
Bulgarian barrels, and I said, I'll take 6, and we're going to put this Merlot in it.
Nice.
And so,
So this is the Merlot that's on Bulgarian oak.
yep. And a heavier crop. The
Yeah.
20 that will taste next, completely opposite way, 3 tons an acre.
Interesting. So in essence, it could be a little bit more.
You will see a
richer-
difference.
Yeah.
And because you buy the barrels ahead of time, there's a lot of 100% new oak 2020s because I'm going to fill my new barrels.
Right.
And also, we were just growing. So as you're cycling, there's no barrels to cycle out.
Right.
You're buying new
Mhm.
Coopers just to have something to put it in.
Do you go much neutral oak ever?
You don't have any yet, do you?
We bought some from other people.
Yeah, we
Oh,
bought
okay.
some
Yeah.
neutral oak.
So that's like usually 2 vintages in.
Yeah.
Okay.
What you saw outside, the question at the beginning.
Yeah.
That's stuff I'm cycling out.
Gotcha.
Finally.
Gotcha. And those are not.
Those are 17. So
I was gonna say.
I was
they-
expecting to use those this year,
okay.
and then they would cycle out. 8-barrel lot would have, if I had control over it, probably a pair of new barrels, and then I don't rack them all together. I rack from barrel to barrel to barrel,
Got it.
and so half of the lot touches the new oak.
So why, this is really interesting because I know racking when you're talking about painting, you want to always, you're using a 5-gallon bucket and you get halfway done, you want to pour some more in, you just keep racking that through. So any differences from a 5-gallon bucket, differences you will see on a wall, but you don't, because you're gonna go ahead and, is that similar to what you're talking about racking?
Well, first of all, there's no pumps in my operation, so racking to a big tank and then out a big tank without pump is a pain. But going from one barrel to another with a siphon's a little easier. And then I also track the free run juice. We use a old school 1-ton basket press. We just cycle it a ton of times.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tracking free run and pressed juice as it goes in the barrel, and then if it goes from a barrel to the next barrel, that lock card goes with it, so I know what oak it's touched.
Complicated.
Mhm.
It's not that bad. I mean,
You guys have
I'll
a
grab one.
spreadsheet.
He has lots of spreadsheets.
Well, what we found out is Mark is really a numbers guy.
Mhm.
Numbers guys love their spreadsheets. So this is one of the tags on the barrel.
So it's 20,
Can I show this?
Yeah.
Okay.
and I've seen that at other wineries. I don't know what's on theirs, but so I've got the type of yeast I used.
Yeah.
My incoming bricks reading from a hydrometer. If it was press or free run, what barrels it came from to what it went to, and then sulfite adjustments.
Yeah.
Impressive.
What I'm topping with.
I mean, that is really very simple because you don't have to think about it. You know your system.
Yeah.
And so you trust it. Now, of course, Sarah, are you a practical joker? Wouldn't it be fun to come in
Why would
and
not?
Oh,
switch a
man.
couple labels?
Would be
Like
fun, yes.
Mark would be tasting. I just don't get it. I don't get it. This is tasting like Grenache and not Merlot.
Well, and the best part about Mark is he is a numbers guy, but he is horrible at puzzles. So for him to know the barrel to barrel to barrel and to figure out
Yeah.
what sequence it needs to go in is amazing that you've done it. So good work.
Thanks.
Thanks, honey. One of the things we love when we pull into this parking lot is to see what surprise is laying on the ground.
No.
Stems?
Last time it was
What's that?
a Grenache.
Right now.
Stems everywhere. We actually, one thing, we talk about this a lot. You had the grapes on the counter in your
Mhm.
tasting room for people just to pluck and taste.
That was so good.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Peachy Canyon had some Viognier that they just picked. We did the similar thing, but that is
Well,
out.
he was going to see if he wanted to buy those Viognier.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right. That's
that's
right. He,
interesting.
Yes,
yes.
he had a bucket of them. I go, here, taste this.
Yeah.
Yep. So today, when we pulled up, We had it was just basically a burgundy parking lot.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah,
mud is not brown here.
Yeah, no.
Burgundy cream.
I did have to rack some of the Sangiovese. It was a little raisin, the Red Mountain stuff, so it was a little hot. So I had to blend it in with some of the other Sangio to get it to a responsible alcohol level,
Rather than 25.
so that it would go through malolactic fermentation. So that's basically your lees.
Ah.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's the bigger wineries. It's a big deal how to get rid of that stuff. A couple barrels on the parking lot, it'll dry and then it blows away like dust.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And so you create more terroir around here.
That's right.
The,
We'll have our own Red Mountain.
the swale is very green in the spring.
And the deer are very happy. around
I'll
here.
bet they are.
I didn't like it.
The bunnies, we had the bunnies out here eating stems earlier this year.
Hey, it's a natural. Again, I love that. Shelley, we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to start working on a couple others. I can't wait.
Neither.
Welcome back to Wine Time Fridays. We're just talking about the fact we have 185 episodes. That's pretty cool. Last week, Shelley and I did mention that we're pretty close to the 200, which is going to be right around February. We could be in San Diego around that time. We're not sure, but we're trying to figure out some spectacular wine. Maybe we do that, Liberty Lake Wine Cellars Cap Frog or something. We had a Cristal on the 100 episode.
Well, you have to do something big for 200.
Yeah, I don't. We're thinking
Go
about
to Italy.
bringing
you
a
should
wine in
mention.
from Tuscany.
No, go.
Go.
Yeah.
See, I don't fly.
Well, she doesn't fly well.
No, I don't fly well.
We'll give you a lot of wine before you
Yeah,
get
that's
you on
what
a
I
plane,
need.
and then you'll be fine.
So, do we share the Shelley Webb
No.
secret for flying?
No.
No, the TSA officials could be listening right now.
Right.
Oh, it's a
We'll start with
flawless.
an X.
I don't
No.
know. Okay, so we haven't even gotten into the story of how in the heck
Oh yeah, that's
you guys
Yeah, you look at the
came
color.
now
to
look at that much different.
owning a winery.
It started with a spreadsheet.
Really?
So we
Like
were
most businesses, they look great on spreadsheets.
On paper,
Yeah.
how can this fail, honey?
Yeah.
So we were wine club members at Liberty Lake Wine Cellars since I think 2008 or 2009, and loved their wine and wanted to do a business together because we both have business backgrounds. And we looked at various things, and in 2015 we realized they weren't making wine. So we sent an email after a bunch of wine and said, "Hey, what's going on?" And they said, we lost our contracts, we're just gonna sell the wine and walk away. And we said, well, if you stay on for a year and help us, we will buy the winery. And that was September of 2015, and by January of 2016 we owned the winery.
Wow.
Wow,
That's
a
moving
huge
pretty
step.
quick.
Yeah, it was, we didn't know what we didn't know, which was great because we would not probably do it now.
Yeah.
And then by March or April, we were
I just got done
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
I mean, because we're using the same equipment,
Yeah.
and they were
Right.
making 500 cases a year.
Got it.
and we
You did not want
see
to,
the press. Well, you can't see the press,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's a little basket press, and
but you guys didn't want to be at that level. You wanted to produce a little bit
enough
more
so
wine.
that we could eventually, this would be our job.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what looked good on a spreadsheet. And year 5 on the spreadsheet, we were golden, and year 5 was COVID. Changed everything for us.
You know, entrepreneurs learn real quick how to pivot.
Yes,
The good
and-
ones.
Yeah.
The ones that want to succeed, you have to pivot. You
Yeah.
know, it's just
And you were talking about how important your wine club was because
Our
of that.
wine club kept us going through COVID. We would have not made it had been not been here. We started then a Thursday only wine club member night, and it's been
Mhm.
wonderful. And we've gotten to meet all of our members, and they're happy to come and just be part of this family that we've created, which is great. Yeah,
That's
we love
good.
them.
That's wonderful. How many members do you have? Do you know?
We have 631 today.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Good for
Nice.
you guys. Not well, I think wineries probably are a little bit more generous with that information than wine bars. That wine
Yeah.
bars don't like to really
Yeah.
share that. Oh, yeah, we do okay.
Well, and we started with
but-
100.
Oh, good
and-
for you guys.
Immediately 20 people left because they're like, we don't know what the wine's going to taste like. We're just going to leave. And we got most of those 20 back over the years, which
Oh,
is
nice.
fun too.
You know, when you're making good wine, and as we alluded to before we hit record, there are some wine bars that actually Bottle Joy, you guys
Mhm.
mentioned, they have really practical margins
Mhm.
on their
Wines
the
are
wines they
good.
sell. Yeah. And so honestly, you're gonna sell more wine that
Mhm.
way. And that's a good thing because you don't want to necessarily sit on, unless it's a $500 bottle of Opus One or whatever it is, or Chateau Margaux or whatever. I mean, yeah, you'll sit, you're going to sit on that a little bit, but it's best just to work that through. You know, you guys have the winery that all this stuff here, and it's a temperature controlled, but you know, these wine bars and bottle shops, sometimes they're sitting vertical on a shelf with
Mhm.
fluorescent lights. It's not the optimum way.
Yeah.
So
So this Merlot is much different. than
Yeah,
the other
isn't that
one.
crazy?
Yeah. It's from the same
Same
block.
vineyard, same
Same-
blocks.
Same rows,
less fruit,
much less fruit,
but
hotter year, of course. 2020 is hot year.
2020 was just a year.
Yeah, it was all.
It was a year.
Yeah.
There was
So
fires. It was the whole thing.
Yeah,
yeah, it was smoky. Red Mountain dodged the smoke.
that's good.
I mean, it was smoky, and there was some right before I picked this Merlot. There was a couple ash particles you could see on the canopy,
Oh.
but our stuff is handpicked, so that stuff doesn't get in the grapes.
Do you handpick all of your grapes?
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's very impressive.
Well, some of the vineyards we pull from just aren't set up to machine pick. I
Right.
mean, we get old block Kiona Cab now. It's
Okay.
fan trained, looks like trees.
Oh,
It's
good.
awesome.
Hmm.
Well, we're going to be in Red Mountain in April, and we're going to start looking at some of these places.
Hmm.
And we're going to be somewhere in January. Oh, Jay Bookwalter we're visiting, and we might make a venture over
It's
to Red
real
Mountain
close,
anyway.
Will there be snow?
No,
could be.
I mean, there's not. It doesn't get a ton of snow.
No. 8 inches of precipitation a year.
Ah.
So
So you were saying also that you were very lucky, which I would agree that you have Red Mountain contracts.
Yeah.
So you had said also that they lost the contract.
Yes.
How did you get it back?
That was luck.
yeah, so they were sourcing from one vineyard that got bought by a neighbor.
Oh, okay.
We went in March of 2016, and then
So
just
you've
kind
only
of met people.
owned it for
Yeah,
3 months.
We didn't know what we were doing, and the old owners went with us and set up these meetings with people that they knew, and then pretty soon we had grape contracts.
We got very lucky.
We got
Yeah.
really lucky because you can't get in
Because-
now.
Very blessed.
I think
Yeah.
it was in 2017, Aquilini came in and bought
Oh.
basically the rest of the acreage in Red Mountain and planted it out. And their wines are just coming online to good reviews, of course. Next door neighbors to us.
Nice.
Um,
Are they good neighbors?
Taking all
I
the
don't- yeah.
grapes.
Yeah, we started with Kiona
mhm.
and Red Path for the first two,
On 16, yeah.
and now we're mostly Shaw and Kiona.
Yeah, Shaw bought the 2 vineyards we were working with, added them to their portfolio. So that's Marshall Edwards. I'm sure you heard that name a lot.
Mm.
Then Kiona is the Williams family.
Who started Red Mountain? Helped
Yeah.
start Red
Yeah.
Mountain.
Yep.
And right now we're about 2/3 comes from Shaw Properties and 1/3 comes from Kiona.
Nice.
But
So
yeah,
do you
it's
have like long-term contracts, or is it?
we
year to
go.
year?
I try to
5
go.
10 years.
They'll let me go 3 years.
Okay.
So I just we're contracted out through 2025 with Shaw. I got to renew with Kiona this year.
Is this a rolling contract? So you're a football fan.
Uh-huh.
You both are sports fans.
Yeah.
Go Hawks, go Huskies, go Eagles.
Go Eagles.
Yeah.
Bow down to no.
So it's more
Trojans.
like the Mariners, where it's first kind of right of first refusal.
Okay.
Our names are on the rows,
Got it.
even
Okay.
if we're by the ton, right? So they plant that. For instance, Heart of the Hill Carmenere, they planted it so that it should yield a ton per row, and so I get 3 rows.
Gotcha.
And if it comes in light, I get what the 3 rows give me.
And if it comes in heavy like that Merlot,
Yeah.
then it.
But
there
when
you
your
go.
contract ends, it's like the Mariners with like a new player. It would be arbitration eligible, and that's when you start. They can pass along a price increase or something.
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
Don James with the Huskies used to have a 5-year contract, and every year they would extend it a year.
Yeah.
So it'd always be a 5-year contract.
Yeah.
That's not
We
how
have
these.
a lot of options to renew for 2 years
Okay.
at the end of our
Mhm.
contracts.
Got it. Yeah.
That requires another spreadsheet.
Yes.
Because if you really think about it, a winery that doesn't own their own vineyard, I mean, those contracts are our value.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. That's right.
we make a Scootney Flats Merlot. We've tried the 19 and the 20. If I don't have the contract for that grape
And what
that
happened?
we've got 91 points from Wine Enthusiast and Editor's Choice,
Yeah.
then what are we?
Right.
Building with a big refrigerated box.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's
The
very
barrels.
true.
Mhm.
And so I guess that a lot of these relationships, because that's what this is,
Yes.
it's a relationship, goes beyond the contract,
Yeah.
is my guess.
Mhm.
No, they're probably not going to renew for way under market, but they may not actually renew for what at market is if you guys have got that great relationship and they want to keep you on, because they don't know the next contract they have to
Yes,
build
yeah.
a new relationship.
Yeah.
Am I kind of close on something
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that?
I mean, we absorbed
That's red
quite a
market.
big increase
Yeah.
because we expanded right into COVID
Yeah, Yeah.
with our Shaw contracts.
that's great
and
timing.
so
Yeah. We
Oh, it
were
was
really.
awesome. So 19, 20, 21 were biggest years ever, right? So yeah.
But we.
So they
do-
hit us with some price increases because of
But we
everything.
knew that was coming, and we talked to them all the time. I mean, Mark
yeah.
texts them all the time,
Yeah.
and they're wonderful. The wine industry is just a wonderful industry. Everyone is so nice and helpful, and the people that aren't helpful stand out. So we've just been really lucky with the Williams and the Shaw people. They've just all been wonderful.
And there's simple growers I can't work with because they don't provide vineyard labs that I can count on.
Right.
Especially being a low intervention winemaker. Like, I want to know where it is. I'm going through blocks. I'm tasting everything. I'm trying to pick on the right day so I don't have to do that stuff on the back end.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's the efficiency thing.
Well, I'm just not going to do it based on principle. There's no bag of acid here.
Yeah.
And, it's why it's good to have a little Sangio around that's 3.5 pH.
Just pour a little.
Just a little topping, but
But it's wine. It's not water. It's not
yeah,
sugar. It's not.
it's
It's
very subtle.
yeah.
But yeah, they've been great to work with.
So
That's good.
we had this discussion on the way over. By the way, 16 miles from our doorstep to Liberty Lake Wine Cellars.
Yeah.
This is the closest featured winery
Yes.
ever on Wine Time Fridays until Coeur d'Alene Cellars comes in, which we're working with them. It'll push you guys out. You'll be the second.
It's okay. They're
Yeah.
right down the street from us. It's fine.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, we also live closer to them.
so
Yeah.
sounds like we're probably neighbors.
Yes, I think so.
But is Mark, do you have a side gig now? I mean, another job now, or is this your deal? Because we were debating this from last year's information. We
Oh,
don't
yeah,
know.
Last year's information is wrong.
Yeah,
He is a full-time winemaker.
I was hired on, salary of $0.
Yeah.
Well, you're lucky. At least you don't have to pay in.
That's right.
Break even.
Listen, I get a card, I can fill up the
You
Take a gas.
snip that umbilical cord. You
March
don't
was
have
his-
to
yeah.
answer to
March-
anybody else except
March
for
was
Sarah.
the transition. So it wasn't 5 years, it ended up being 7.
Okay.
Yeah. But
COVID.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
It was great though this fall because we didn't have to work around his day job schedule. He was able just to go
Yeah.
pick
So-
grapes when they were ready, and
Talk about nail and pick dates.
yeah, it was wonderful.
And the growers appreciate that too, because you've got a large contingent of wineries that are working other jobs, and they want to pick up on Saturday
Yeah.
because that's the day they have off. So I'm like, let's
You can
pick
go on
Tuesday,
the
you know.
weekday.
Well, Shelley, it's much like going to Costco when you work from home. And it's like
Yes.
on a Saturday, you want to go to Costco with me? I'm
No.
like, not really. We work from home. We can go on a Monday, Tuesday, or
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Right at the beginning.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, let's stand outside with the hordes of people. No, thank you. So anyway, that's fantastic. This is a 2020 Merlot that I've already shown on the camera, but this is fantastic. I do taste the different maturity.
Mhm.
Also, there's a few more tannins here, seemingly, but it's delicious and different. And
You
it's
said both of these are scrutiny flats?
Same rows.
Same road.
A little different oak treatment.
Ah,
There's some of the American French hybrids I use.
okay.
And this is being released
in a week,
November 1st.
which was a couple days ago.
Yes. Was a couple
So it's
days
not
ago.
even out
No.
as of whatever.
So
The day we recorded. Everyone knows we don't
I know
record
that,
on the same day.
but some
Yes.
of our listeners aren't as bright as others, and
Don't insult our listeners.
they don't know which ones they are. All of them think they're smart.
They all are smart.
And
Or they
slightly
wouldn't be
better
listening.
better than average drivers too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, wine number 4. And actually, while Mark is
This
pouring
one's
that,
mine.
yes,
Yes.
and I will go
I'll drink
I
it up
offered
and you guys
actually
drink
to bring.
Bring
We
the
have a
dump.
Wine Time Fridays dump bucket now.
Oh,
It's
I
got
have it.
a
it. And it's
label
not
everything.
him.
It's not me. Today I'm the dump bucket, which is fine.
I'm sorry, I didn't even think about it.
No,
Yeah.
it's just so not necessary in most cases.
So this is the wild card, and we opened this for some
Now
Other
there's 2 wild cards. But
customers.
Oh.
Yes, but it's the
Well, we have a wild card on this segment, and then when we take a break, we'll have a wild
Yes.
card on the next
so
one.
this is the 2020 Cab Sauv
Yes.
that we're not sure when it's going to be released, but it won't be until next 2024.
Oh, wow.
So you're getting to taste it well ahead of everybody else.
Well, we feel very privileged, extremely privileged.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hashtag cheersing.
Cheers.
You would appreciate the hashtags
Yeah,
being a
I love
marketer.
them.
You know, marketers ruin everything, right?
Yeah.
The bad ones, they ruin everything.
So this one is all Scutney Flats.
Also, okay.
It's a blend of Clone 2 and Clone 4. I think Clone 4 is my magic sauce. Clone 2 is it's a Napa clone, and so is Clone 8, which is very prevalent. But Clone 4 is the Mendoza clone.
Ah.
Is it like the Mendoza line?
No, it's above 200.
Okay.
But,
I think Mendoza line isn't 200, is it? Is it 180?
No, 200.
Is it 200?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I think it's actually 201. This was
Don't
baseball
even-
talk.
Do you know that he had a 4th job when we started this, and it was baseball statistics, sports betting. He wrote
Oh, that's
thousands of
right.
articles. Yeah.
When we were here with you guys,
Yeah.
you were saying
Those are
actually there was a bet you had on,
Oh, yeah.
and you were happy during our conversation on the ride home. I'm like, oh, Mark's not gonna be happy about this result. Yeah. Yeah,
Lots
that's
of numbers. He really likes numbers.
look, I love it. We were in Vegas a month ago. Shelley had an influencer conference, and I was ecstatic. I could have 3 days in my room in Las Vegas with no dogs, no tortoises, no distractions to knock out work.
How much
in
did
Vegas.
you get done?
I mean, I got stuff done, but
Sports book.
no, I didn't go down.
Oh,
No, I really hung out in the room. I really did.
We don't gamble.
Well, I would love to gamble, but
It used to be where you'd go down. This is in the before times. you go down, you place your bets, and based on how much money you bet, they would give you like a free drink ticket, and you could go to anywhere on the property and
Mhm.
use a free drink ticket to order whatever you want. So, scotch, yes, please.
Single malt, okay.
And so we went to Vegas for Thanksgiving. One oddest place to go for Thanksgiving.
It really is.
It was fun though.
It was awesome. But you know, I'm not going to be able to run with the family. I can't go sit watch games. So I go down, place my bets, get my drink tickets. I had drink tickets for everybody. I think I broke even.
Oh, nice.
So that's winning
One of the
Broke
most
even with free drinks.
with free drinks.
one of the most fun times we had when we went to Vegas is many years ago, and we went into a sports book. The best time to go to Vegas is during March Madness.
Mm.
I mean, you got 4 days of bliss.
Yeah.
But it was somewhere around there. There was games on. It was just fun. The energy is so fun.
Mhm.
I don't have to gamble or bet. It's so weird because these days I see the lines. I know the lines. I'm like, I'm not touching the NFL. Sorry.
Mhm.
And college this year, not touching that either. Sorry. It's too many weird things out there. USC was on a roll. And then they really tripped up over Notre Dame. Don't know what they did against Cal last week because we're recording this before the game. I don't know if the Huskies are
We're also
undefeated,
confused.
but they probably are because they probably killed Stanford. But anyway, yeah, this is what happens. Oh, by the way, we
And who
did
won the World Series?
well, it could be done. I think it's going to be Arizona. I think Paul Sewald had 4 saves in key situations. What were the Mariners thinking? Do you
I know I'm
understand?
supposed to talk because it's a podcast, but I don't have words.
Yeah. So were you scratching your head over that trade?
Well, yeah, he's
Okay.
a clubhouse guy.
Okay. Yeah.
And Sarah's like, he looks like a dad. He's a teen dad. And he does.
Good, yeah.
He
When I was
does.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, this
Yeah,
ends
that's
the
what I
Baseball
Mariner
portion,
101 for tonight. I wanted to say, though, because we didn't mention that about the Merlot, it is actually International Merlot Day is this Tuesday, the 7th. My daughter's birthday. Happy birthday, Lindsay.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. This is a Wine Time Fridays and Liberty Lake Wine Cellars. Happy birthday, Lindsay. Okay.
Yay.
Yay, cheers.
Okay, Lindsay. You won't listen anyway.
She might.
However, that wasn't the Merlot we toasted up. Hey, I
That was
wanted to
fine.
ask you guys about
That was a cat,
the.
which is delicious.
It is really
It's gonna be
good.
so good next year.
By the way, this thing's already opening up in the glass,
Mhm.
so it's fantastic. I wanted to talk a little bit about our Wine Time Fridays, Charity Sips, a toast to good deeds. We have the ALS service organization for which I think is ALSSO.
Yes.
For Spokane and North Idaho. I wanted to bring in North Idaho. I know you guys are here in Liberty Lake, Washington, Eastern Washington, Spokane, but North Idaho also has a chapter. Why is this? I am so happy you guys give back into the community, but this one has a little extra meaning for you guys. You want to talk a little bit about that? Or is that going to be too hard to talk about?
Well, Sarah can talk about it.
So it's not funny, but we lost Mark's mom to ALS in 2019, and one of our best friends also has ALS. So this is
Wow.
very near and dear to our hearts.
Yeah.
We love to give back to them because it's a very difficult disease to have, and they just support the families with the things that you don't think about, like maybe a ramp to their house or a van to get places. So it just really helps the whole family.
If you look down in the show notes, whether you're on YouTube or on our website, or even on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you will see a link to the ALSSO website, which is basically alsso.org.
Yes. Thank you.
And we hope that this is inspiring a lot of people, because we do this about once a month. We highlight a nonprofit or charity, and it's our way of kind of giving back and helping out just by honoring and featuring and spotlighting some of these different
Well,
organizations.
thank you very much. It is very.
Yeah, 19 Crush was weird. So my I was in hospice with my mom.
Mm.
Also a great organization.
Yes.
Well,
we do get to hospice too.
just so everybody knows, I actually had hospice on the notes to do this.
Mm.
And I'm like, well, we pour at the hospice event in Coeur d'Alene.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
And so I'm thinking this one is more near and dear. Well, don't know about more, but maybe a little bit closer.
Yes. Yeah.
And so I wanted to do that one, but hospice is
They're
right
great,
on the back burner.
Yep.
Yeah, and they are.
Yeah. So I was in hospice. My mom passed, and most of us are in the Lost Parent Club. It's fog. I picked that Merlot for the 2019 Merlot the next day.
Oh wow!
So,
basically the entire 19 vintage, I did without. It was I don't even remember
in a
it.
numb state.
Yeah. So I was like, guess I got lucky on some of those decisions.
Well, and right.
Yeah.
So I was going to just sneak that into my backpack, but now I feel like you guys should bring that home and honor your mom with that.
We have some at home.
You were gonna sneak it into your backpack.
That was actually the first.
She's looking over there. Where's the backpack?
That was actually
Keep
the
an eye
first
on you.
wine I got editor's choice from Wine Enthusiast for. So that was
Oh, that's really nice.
The 19
That's
Merlot.
the 19 Merlot.
Very
Nice.
nice.
I was like, well, what?
So how many cases
I don't
did you
even
put in the
remember
library?
making that
I
one.
know. How many cases did you put in the library
3.
with that? 3?
No, I mean, I put 5.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah.
I just love that. This ultimately is a human endeavor.
Yeah.
And so we talk about relationships. We talk about human to human interaction. When we walk through, you have a tasting room full of people that are having conversation over your wine. It's got to, that's just got to feel good, doesn't it?
Yeah. The people have been the best part about the whole thing because you get to meet people, and usually people aren't mad when they're drinking wine. They're
we don't really have angry customers.
which is great.
Constellation can't say what you guys are
And I actually
saying.
don't know why it's busy tonight because we sent out our email.
That wine club is
next weekend, and we literally the first couple of years we're like, oh my god, it's so dead.
Because we told everyone,
And we're like, we literally just sent an email that said come next weekend, and we figured that out, and so it's nice that it's busy tonight.
Well,
Yeah.
so let's talk about your hours of operation here in the tasting room. You guys are open. Is it from Wednesday to Sunday?
public.
For the public.
Fridays noon to 8, Saturday, Sunday noon to 5.
So
And then a wine club member gets the option of coming Thursdays 4 to 8.
okay, so they get their extra hour.
Thursday.
Extra
They get
day.
all
Oh, they get all. Oh, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. So I'm still learning to understand English.
Mhm.
Why would you put out the email on a Friday instead of a Monday?
I sent it out on a Monday,
Oh, you did.
but we just told them this weekend. Although it's Halloween, so we're doing Halloween flights with paired with candy. So
Oh, no.
that might be why.
I was wondering
people-
about people eating
Oh yeah,
candy.
yeah.
So
weird
but there's
eyeballs.
free T-shirt, and the close second is free candy.
Or free mac and cheese. Let's not. Free mac and cheese is
Yeah,
where
if there's any other
Just
wineries
eat it.
out listening, don't do the musicians. Spend the money on free mac and cheese.
yes,
You will make your money back tenfold.
yes.
and not craft.
And also,
but just the Costco frozen stuff.
yes, and you will have dinner because you'll have
We
it
have to
home.
take that out.
Oh, sorry, the frozen mac.
No, the homemade.
Yeah, we
Oh,
give it.
okay.
Oh, it
Yeah,
may be from
sorry.
Costco, but we give it our kiss of specialness.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
one of the best.
We
That and
probably
hot,
are overdue a mac
and
and cheese
hot
night.
dog day, which pairs not really with anything.
Yeah.
But we always do a hot dog day in the summer, and people love it.
We did,
Good
and we will
excuse to eat
probably.
carbs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will continue to do this with Sam Lang from Lola Wine Lounge.
Mhm.
We did a champagne and French fry day there.
Oh,
It's
And-
actually a national day.
Yeah, and so
champagne
we're
and French fry day. Is
Yep.
this thing?
Mhm.
Oh,
French fry and champagne day, and so we are actually thinking of maybe doing that as an annual thing with Sam.
Can I be invited? We
Oh.
love Sam and Lola's, and
Yes. you
I
can be
want
invited.
champagne and
It will
If
be
Sam's listening, I dropped off a bottle of that 19 Merlot and said, "Do you want to serve this, and then never followed up because crush happened, and then we sold out.
Oh no.
So
The next one.
yeah, maybe
2020.
This is a good time to mention that for Shelley's birthday, we forgot to mention this last week, that we went to Takara.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I need to mention at the break, I'll look her name up, our server, as well as some new servers down at Coeur d'Alene Fresh. But we also went to Lola Wine Lounge on a Wednesday night, Shelley. Your birthday was on a Wednesday night, and it was packed. It was unbelievable.
We're outside the door, and we open the door. It's like
It was so cool. So Sam's doing a great job. We feel like Sam is this close to being sponsored on our podcast. He's thinking about it. So we will all be there for French Fry and Champagne Day. We're gonna take one more break, and when we come back, we're gonna taste through two more wines, another wild card.
Yeah, another wild card.
Excellent.
Ooh.
Sue. Welcome back to Wine Time Fridays with Shelley, Phil, Syrah, and Mark with Liberty Lake Wine Cellars. We have been talking all sorts of things during that break, and I did do my research. I'll do this.
And the thing is, I can't drive home because I can't see in the dark.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay.
I wanted to thank that police officer that pulled me over a week and a half ago before Shelley's birthday because I had a tail light that was burnt out.
Oh.
And I had not had a glass of wine. We were at Diva's practice, and he was very nice. Did not give me a citation. So thank you very much, Officer such and such. The tail light is fixed, and I will be driving home with full tail lights. We just poured a 2020 Somm Select. I can see the pride in Mark's face on this. This is a reserve red wine. I'm guessing this is a blend from Red Mountain right there.
Which Somm selected it?
Oh.
Somm is our rescue cat.
Oh.
So that's Somm on the back.
Oh, there he is.
That's what you were showing me, and I was just too naive to see it. Here we go.
So we've had a couple versions of our Bordeaux blend. It was called Legacy when we bought.
Originally.
Yeah, we bought the winery's Legacy, and then we got a nice nasty gram from Kendall Jackson saying
It was
that's
30 pages of why we
30 pages. It
We
wasn't.
saved it. Yeah.
It wasn't a cease and desist, but it was
was a-
almost that.
Well,
it was a
like,
cease and desist.
Okay.
you can keep your 96 cases legacy,
Mhm.
but
How nice of you.
However.
Thanks, KJ.
And then we rebranded it as Bud Burst, and the L, Liberty Lake L, was flowers.
it's beautiful.
It was very cool.
Uh-oh,
And then we
had
tried to
that.
trademark Bud Burst and ran into Budweiser.
Oh my God.
So-
Well, I thought you were going to say a porn site, so that's better than
Yeah.
that.
So our attorney said, you don't even want to win that. Just change the name.
No, you'll go broke trying to win it. Yeah.
And then it was the golden ticket because that is public domain. And I
Or
like
is
foil
it?
on
There's
labels.
the
So
Charlie and the
I said-
yeah,
Chocolate
we did a
Factory.
whole wine club themed Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It was great.
yeah.
But someone told you to stop that?
Well,
The label had like if you look at the
Scalloped
golden ticket, it's got like a little
scalloped edges.
scalloped edge, and it wreaks havoc with the little automatic label we use that over here.
We do have to think about practicality.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I need a straight label. And
This
then
delicious nose.
And we named our cat Somm, which we got in 2019.
yeah,
And so
consolation prize for your mom dying. You get a cat.
cat.
And yeah, so if you own basically any business and you get a chance to name something after a pet, you take it.
Yeah.
Always.
Like
Yeah.
three.
I mean, it was a
three-legged
three-legged dog
Yeah,
from Dunham.
Mhm.
And that dog has since passed, but that's such a legacy.
Yes.
Our pets, I'm sorry, they
Yeah.
are better than humans in almost every capacity.
They
Well,
brilliant, yeah.
They don't judge you. You leave for 5 seconds. And I'm like, oh, I forgot something. Oh my God, you're back. I was just forgot my wallet, but they're unconditional love. And so Somm is still around.
He's
4. He's 20 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
He's a big boy. He's a
He is.
killer.
He
He
doesn't-
likes
he likes
and-
mice and birds a lot.
well, good for Somm because
So
we
he
had
jumps up and
a
gets them.
micer
Yeah.
that come on, just cuddle in with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was not really a micer. Shelley's daughter, Katie, sorry we're mentioning you on our podcast, has Pinot
Oh
as
yeah,
a
good.
pet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And her newest putt, there's a new one, I thought.
No,
Oh,
One pup. Pinot.
only just Pinot.
I like it.
Oh, she's just into Zen now. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So anyway, Katie, if you want to disown us for saying this, that's okay. She doesn't listen. We're okay to say it.
All
Okay.
right, so what is this?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go.
Oh,
You see it? Oh, yeah.
Do you have 2 different ones?
yeah. So
2 different yeasts.
we were talking about non-intervention, letting the yeast do its thing.
Yes.
Right. So, this is a non-Saccharomyces yeast, and
It's
this
easy
is
for you
a
to say.
this is a Saccharomyces yeast. This is a wine making yeast.
Okay.
This is non-wine making yeast.
Interesting.
These turn sugar into acid.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Okay. That's the wine yeast.
So they both do it.
Right.
Um,
But what makes one non-wine yeast and one wine yeast? This is fantastic.
This won't turn sugar into alcohol.
Okay.
This will turn sugar into alcohol and acid.
Okay.
So as we get into it's called Klima. Just on the market this
Yeah,
year.
okay.
I used it
Oh.
because I'm small lot and I don't care if I make a $10,000 mistake.
Oh no.
I do.
So
Um,
at this point, we're
I
gonna
jumped
split
I
them
jumped
up.
on this stuff because
I don't care if I make a $10,000
We're
mistake.
having-
Said no one ever.
we're having hotter summers. Climate change is a problem. Red Mountain has
It's a reality. Is it?
it's
really
a reality. It
For
doesn't
us.
even matter how it's caused for
No.
me. I don't care.
No, it just is.
I have to deal with it.
Yes, you do.
So this particular yeast strain will create malic acid and drop your pHs. So it's kind of like a magic pill for Red Mountain because
Oh.
Red Mountain especially is
High
it's
pHs.
super hot, high pHs. The 2021 Syrah we're gonna try high pH. We're talking Australia type,
Interesting.
4+.
We haven't really even gotten into the pHs of wines.
Yeah, and
It's all about the bricks and all of that.
and you don't taste pH. It's more of a shelf stabilization
Okay.
metric.
Because you have the pH level is acidity or non-acidity, right? I mean,
Yeah, you
that's
taste TA is you'll see titratable acidity. You can taste that. That's the sour factor. pH is more cleanliness
Okay.
and
well, as
microbiology stuff.
they say,
Yeah.
cleanliness is next to godliness.
Yes.
That is
And
true
his
for a
son
winery.
could take water and make it into this
That's
stuff.
right.
That's what I've heard anyway.
That's
Word
right.
on the street.
We're not going to use water, but the good Lord can
Yep.
make it into wine.
So instead of, dumping a bag of acid, if something's coming off hot, I'm using these
Mhm.
type
So
of tools.
would you use those later on, or
Use them during fermentation.
You use them
Right.
at the beginning.
Immediately-
Right at the
immediately,
beginning.
okay.
Yeah.
So you test the pH and then you decide.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
It's almost like, let's go with that.
How much
Yeah.
yeast do you add? Like, is it this for? Well, how much yeast would you add to a barrel?
You would add
Also, it depends on the acidity.
0.0352 ounces per gallon.
Can you be more specific?
How much do you add to a 1-ton bin of fermenting grapes?
4.4 ounces.
Okay, so not very much.
Not very much.
No.
No.
I lied. I co-ferment.
4.5 ounces.
It's
Yeah, right, that's what I
it's
thought it was
8.8. I
Okay,
8.8.
8.8 for
It's
a,
still
Um,
a,
for
I mean,
a ton of grapes.
That actually
probably.
so we were talking about small lots,
yeah,
making complexity with a small lot. I use barrels with different wooden in the same
Yeah.
barrel.
that's right.
I use different clones, and then I co-ferment with different yeasts as well.
That's a
So
lot.
Kendall Jackson,
Yeah,
who makes the same wine every
It
year.
works for them.
yeah.
Okay, and it works for
What
them.
if you want to interview them?
This is no, we won't.
Okay.
It's like Yellowtail and Kendall Jackson are off. the table.
No,
Oh, we're
they're
not getting
like
KJ.
Yellowtail.
No, they're not
No.
by any stretch. But what you're doing is you are really making your wines unique in
Recipes.
a very real way.
Mhm.
Using all of these different variables like the yeast, the different barrels. Who uses French American oak barrels at the same time, right?
And the new ones.
Right. So there are so many variables that are making your wines unique, and they're going to stand out. Now, there's a risk to that. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes it may not work like you want.
Right.
So far, so good. Knock on wood. Or a
Or will there be a
tablecloth. Or
$10,000 mistake?
that we apparently don't care about. It's fine.
Yeah.
so this is the Therapy 101 counseling with Sarah and Mark for future conversations.
Well, the problem with wine is you have to wait.
I
3
know.
4 years to figure out if it works.
Yeah,
or
so
not.
I brought in those barrels with the 4 different forests of France, and we'll see in 2026 if that was a good decision.
When we had Drew Bledsoe and,
And you
Damon
can't
Hewitt
take them
on.
back by then.
Yeah, we like to return these.
Yeah, we don't-
Yeah.
We're not liking this.
We had Drew Bledsoe and Damon Hewitt on for Apple Cup last year.
Uh-huh.
And that's one of the things Drew said is, we won't know if this works for another 8 years.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
It's breweries are so lucky in this. It's like every
3
3 months, and then we're like, hey, we're just hanging out over here for the next couple years, seeing if it goes
different bang for your buck though.
Yeah,
But
it's-
return.
Yeah.
You can,
Oh, they're
Like-
getting up there, though.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. That's funny. Hey, I remember those names, Shelley.
Okay.
We met Amy and Phil down at Coeur d'Alene Fresh a couple weeks ago. Want to give a shout out to them and to Marta and Marie, the new wine tenders down there.
Right.
We also had Kamiko at Takara. There's a lot of aggressive K's, as George Carlin would say. And I wanted to give a shout out to Jen at Bottle Joy. She's behind the bar. She's a good person. Kurt and Joy are great. We love them.
But you
Last
love Jen more.
No,
Okay.
I do like Jen the same.
Okay.
Jen is great.
And Kelly at Coeur d'Alene Fresh is our neighbor.
Kelly, we've mentioned too many times. Her husband, head football coach at Coeur d'Alene High School.
Oh. She walks by our house, and I said, hey, I know, and she didn't remember where we met.
Yeah,
Probably
it's
weirded her out.
context. It's like here's this random guy who's like, hey,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's talking about
Kelly is. Let's just say she's in very, very good shape.
Yep.
she
Very
Yeah,
good
she is.
shape, and she's so nice. We've talked about relationships and how important they are, and they really are. I mean, it's really all about that. Love that. So
Rolling,
this is
rolling,
my.
rolling.
I know. That's my monk impression. I
I
know.
know.
This Bordeaux blend may be my favorite of the lineup so far.
it's a really easy drinking.
It is
is.
really good, and it
Jeez.
only has room to grow.
Yeah, it's
At,
Oh, we didn't
Uh,
like the alcohol.
oh yeah, we haven't really talked about
And
that
this
on any
combination. If I could
it's
guess it.
Cab Franc Merlot heavy.
of them.
Mhm.
And all my Bordeaux blends are going to be that way going forward, just because how our contracts have kind of evolved.
Okay.
Mhm. Cabernet Sauvignon, Carmenere, Malbec, Petit Verdot.
Yeah, so it's got all 6.
Ah.
If anything, I will drop the
14.
Carmenere because I can't spare any.
Oh,
Because I'm going to take this barrel of wine, I can sell it this much, and blend it into and sell it for less. Yeah, that's
no,
not a very
that's
good
not
decision.
good.
No, I mean, you got to weigh all of those
And it's
decisions.
only 14% alcohol.
These chips are fantastic. Sorry, they really are very
It's
good.
labeled at 14%. Thank you for mentioning that.
Uh-oh.
14?
Yeah,
Sure.
that's very.
Oh, it's not?
Sure.
Let's go with, we'll probably take that out.
Yeah. Well, we just finished our 8th vintage, and I'm building out our in-house lab.
Oh, okay. There could be mistakes.
So some of those readings are not correct.
Don't you get
Coming in.
don't you get like a 0.5% grace?
0.5%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1% grace.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, we're within it.
Before we go
That's
to our
true.
last one,
We have another.
yes, we do. We
Goodness.
want to mention the CDA. Oh my Lord.
You asked for this one.
No,
Well,
I did. I mean, I thought you said, "Do you want more?" I'm like, "No."
No, he's talking about the Tablas Creek clone one.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
Tomorrow, CDA Gourmet holiday kickoff. Santa will be there.
It's
I know him.
I know him. I actually put that in the event
I do know
description.
him actually.
I know. We know. We're not going to say who it is, though. But tomorrow from 11 to 2, CDA Gourmet. Seriously, everything that's regularly priced 10% off. We love CDA Gourmet. They're friends of ours. Matt's going through tough times, but he's killing it. Good job, Matt. Keep
I
going.
think that was a good word to use.
Oh, he's nailing it. He's beating it. How's that?
Okay.
Well, I mean, you know what? We don't have to be dictated by definitions of the words.
Okay.
Okay, but he's doing very well, and 10% off regularly priced items. Are going to have demos, Santa, take pictures, get your fondue, get your pictures, your Christmas pictures out of the way early. November 4 is one day before my birthday, November 5. And tomorrow, Shelley, who does USC play tomorrow?
I don't know. What'd
I
you
know.
say?
Well, they're going to be in Seattle.
Oh no.
Bow down to Washington, which
This
they
is
will.
not a good thing. Oh yeah, that's right. We talked about this.
Yes, we did. We have to say that.
I suppose you want that for your birthday.
What, a win would be nice. Hopefully it's raining, sideways rain in Seattle, all of that stuff. We did actually feature one of your wines not too long ago. 4 weeks ago, we featured your 2019 Liberty Lake Wine Cellars Gewürztraminer orange wine on Orange Wine Day.
Oh,
Yeah.
How did it show?
It was fine. It was great. Orange wine is a very interesting thing.
It's fun. It's
yeah,
fun. People are scared, but it's fun.
No, and here's the thing. You shouldn't be scared by different wines.
Mm-hmm.
Go in just with an open mind. You may not like it, and that's okay. But orange wine is just a little different deal. Yeah. You guys use that here to do mulled wine?
Yes, we're doing it for Holiday Wine Fest, which is the Spokane Winery Association weekend before Thanksgiving, that all the wineries are doing something, but we are selling the Gewürztraminer with mulling spices. So
that'd be really fun.
Yeah, it's lots of fun, and it's great for a holiday, Thanksgiving.
Oh, and it
Christmas.
smells so good.
It smells amazing. Yeah,
it's like going into Albertsons and smelling the bakery.
Yeah,
it's like,
because orange
just
wines are
bad things.
They're like white wines on steroids with the nose.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of fun. And Shelley, as you mentioned last week, we do have our wine calendar on our website, and it's more to remind people to try new wines. Like Tuesday, Merlot Day, Thursday, Tempranillo Day. You're gonna see some things, and maybe get some specials. Mm-hmm. And so Merlot, okay, I'm not drinking any more effing Merlot. Okay, fine, but Tempranillo. When's the last time you had a Rioja?
Yeah.
Okay. So
there's no labels.
Oh, but that's okay. This is good because I like this.
You like no labels?
No,
we did do a cork change though. We switched to the diams and put the vintage on the end.
Really?
Because we went away from foils.
I can't see that vintage.
It's there.
Okay. That's because I just can't.
On the other side. That was the dirty side.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do this. I think, yes, you do. Yeah. There it is. Okay, I'm going to show this as the vintage at the very end. There we go.
So we've transitioned away from foils.
Good.
I think a third of wineries did last year.
Yeah, and I
That
think
was
there
the
probably
numbers.
another third are
Yeah.
going to do it this year. This
They-
has no label. It's a 21 Syrah. Oh, we're going to get bugged by somebody. I can hear doors shutting. There we are.
So you guys wanted to try some Tablas Creek
Yeah,
Syrah.
why would we want that?
Because you were just there. The barrel I have of it is up in the rafters. So this, the 21 Syrah is the first Syrah we have with Tablas Creek in it. The
It's
rest
a
is
clone, right?
it's a clone.
Mhm.
It is different than Phelps clone. Phelps clone has very thin skins. So in our basket press, when we try to press it, it explodes out.
Makes
Oh.
a mess.
Really?
It's
Oh.
terrible.
It's-
Tablas Creek
Is
has
it
thicker
the
skin.
gases that
It's thin skinned and it just shoots.
interesting?
What a
Yeah,
waste
it
of
really
juice.
Yeah.
when it ferments, it macerates and turns into a jam.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
Where the Tablas Creek, the skins are more put
Firm.
together, firm.
Yeah. It was
Different
like a
flavor.
petite Syrah has got a really strong skin, completely different grape, but
Yeah.
really tough skin.
Yeah,
But Syrahs, I didn't realize there would be that difference between what you said, as you said, the Phelps.
Phelps.
We didn't know until we got the second clone because we were like, Syrah's just always a mess.
Okay.
So just know going into it.
And a
it's
lot of the
gonna be a mess.
funky Syrahs are Phelps. This Tablas Creek is one where you get like the tar, asphalt, really dark.
Mm.
This is the first time you've tasted this in a while?
I haven't opened one in 6 months.
And this just went in the bottle 6 months ago.
That's when I tasted last.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's
This
not
is-
shocked anymore. I can tell that.
Well, it's not shocked. And
Very clear.
it seemingly could be labeled and sold now. Still a little tight. Got some
Yeah.
tannins. Maybe a little young. It's a 21.
This will be a 25-ish release.
25.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's usually on the front end.
Well, end of 24, early 25.
So this
Yeah.
edition of marriage counseling comes with sponsorship of
We only cross over duties when it's labels and release dates.
Mhm.
oh I do,
Otherwise, front of house, back of house.
which is healthy.
It was the best advice we were given
Yeah,
coming into this.
yeah.
Yeah.
And have you been able to
Stay
adhere
in
to
your
that?
lane.
Yes.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Look,
I like
you're
that.
going to have
Front of house,
opinions
back
on
Yeah.
what she does. She's going to have opinions on what you do. That's all well and good, but you just keep those to yourself.
Mhm.
He's been great because I am very controlling about
Wait,
things.
he's been great. Just
Let's just
Just
keep
say
it
that.
at that. So
Right.
Shelley's very good at saying
they gotta wrap this up.
when you when you say something and then say but,
I
it
wasn't gonna
completely
say that,
erases. Well, you did. You said he's been
Mhm.
great, but
there is a wall.
you're gonna do it anyway.
And he comes to the front and he is wonderful and just says, "What do you need help with?" And I have learned from him that I come back here and I just say, instead of "This is what I think," "What can I help you with?" And it's been great.
Yeah,
Nice,
it's good.
good.
Yeah, a little chilly still. This has been back here.
This has
Well,
been
it's-
back here.
Yeah,
It's really good.
it really is very.
I did
good.
switch to French on this Syrah. Before it had
Mhm.
been a heavier toast American.
Mm-hmm.
We're adding, before it was big bold, add big bold on top of big bold, and then I moved to French.
Dude, this is really good.
Thanks.
I mean, this. I know you were. There was some concern about. We had asked if we can do a Tablas Creek because we had Tablas Creek on. We had mentioned that there about you guys using the Tablas Creek clone, which it's so cool.
Yeah, it's full circle.
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
And you were like, I don't know if this is really good, and it still has room to grow.
I would say the window on this is probably max 5 years though, because
Oh,
of
Max, okay.
the 21 vintage, the acidity levels are a little higher. Well, higher is in lower. The numbers are higher.
Okay, yeah.
Higher is in lower.
So
More
confused.
alkaline.
I think of it, as an old, bell curve graph. It's
Mhm.
just a little compressed when you get the chemistry that way. It means nothing when it's released. I mean, people don't care. And 98% of it's going to be drank in 2 years.
Yeah.
But it'd just be one I would tell people not to sit on.
Would this be, it seems to me, so numbers guy, 98% drink within the first 2 years. In our house, it's 99% within the first 2 days, sometimes. Again,
We're the
old joke. Shelley gives me long shadows, says I can't drink it until she says I can drink it. Happy birthday, honey. But there is that play. Why not have one wine that is your marquee wine that you don't say drink right away? Let this thing hang out and grow. This has that opportunity, seemingly.
We are starting a reserve cab program.
There we go. That's right. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Wine Time Fridays.
The 21 will be the first reserve cab, and it's because of the introduction of the old block.
Okay.
Kiona fruit we were able to get.
Nice.
That's a 1975 block, and if you have an opportunity to go down, which you are going down,
Yeah. 1 to 2 times. Not sure.
Or
Go.
three.
Maybe
Just keep
3.
going.
Go. I bet you
Probably
could
live
talk
there.
your way into getting to go see those vines. They are incredible. They look like trees.
Yeah, that's very intriguing to me.
And the
Intriguing.
what's nice for me, because we're small lot.
Yeah.
Like I need to know how much is coming in very small increments. The roots systems are crazy deep. They don't have this
How
huge
deep is deep?
variation.
Because they're going 30 feet deep in Paso Robles.
I would say
That's
it's not hitting the water table because I heard
but that's impressive.
Some of that Rocks District stuff is
really deep.
yeah.
And they'll
but on
find
the
their
bluff
way.
side, they went too deep and it hit the water table and they had to replant.
Oh, because
no.
it's too much water.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, because the
That's
roots are
not-
going to look for water. They don't know they
Right.
do best being stressed.
Right.
Do
Yeah.
you like that? Best being stressed? Hashtag
It's best
be stressed.
But with the old vine, there's not as much variation on yield. So when they say, yes, I have 2 tons of cab for you, they have 2 tons of cab for you. Some of our blocks of cab this year from Scootney, we had 80% loss. I say loss, but it wasn't there.
Low yield.
You're talking, I usually get 2 tons off this. I'm getting 1,000. What do you do with that?
Well, you do the same thing you did with the Merlot.
Make wine.
Make wine.
Yeah, you blend it up front in the fermentation tank. But
Well, this has been so much fun. We haven't even got to
The wine word of the week.
or any of that stuff. And by the way, I want to know if you guys recognize the wine word of the week. You ready?
mm-hmm.
The social web wine word of the week is fabulous. Fabulous. Does that make sense?
Sounds like fabulous.
Well, it's what you said to us when we were sitting on the patio.
Oh, no.
And I said, that sounds like a wine word of the week. And it's like, yeah, I just made that up.
What
I have right here. Fabulous is a term coined by Mark Lathrop when we were sitting with them a month ago on the outside patio.
Sounds like something he would do.
So, Mark, help us out with this.
Did you write it down? What is it?
Oh, it's a real word. You coined it. Yeah.
Oh, I'm putting that in a tasting note somewhere.
Heck yeah, you will. Fabulous. So help us out here, Mark.
I think fabulous.
It came out of your mouth, and you're
Are
very
you sure
happy.
it wasn't fabulous?
No, I know.
No.
And he may have even done this.
He may be getting it.
You were really excited that night.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful night on the
It was
patio.
wonderful.
It was a great,
Was I
best
harvesting
thing.
grapes?
You just
Yeah.
brought
You
Grenache
just brought
in.
him
No,
Syrah, wasn't it?
No, it was Grenache.
we don't have Grenache.
It wasn't Grenache.
Yeah, Grenache is sold out in Red Mountain, so
We're
no
trying to
GSM.
get
for
What
us.
did you bring
Trying to
in?
The
get that.
stems were on the ground.
Yeah,
You
what-
didn't get as much as you wanted.
That
I
was
thought-
everything.
What did you
Yeah,
bring in
what-
that day?
I think I have it in my Instagram stories.
Oh, there you go. Well, this is really great podcast buzz right now.
Anyways.
Fabulous.
Oh my
I
gosh,
believe it's a
Mark.
play on the word fabulous.
Yeah, I feel like it is. too.
And
I'm glad you captured it.
oh yeah,
It might be a new
Hmm.
hashtag.
I
Obviously.
even said something that
It
night.
sounds fancy.
It is pretty freaking fancy. Some wines we enjoyed this week. We had to say the Padrillos Malbec, which was from Takara. They were so nice. We had a flight. We did have a flight of sake. I went to wine after that.
I love
Just saying.
sake too. Don't be guilty.
Uh,
Feel guilty.
It was a fun night. Mateus dry rosé.
Not Mateus, it was Matus.
Okay.
And the reason we had that was because I went to my 50th high school reunion, and Matus was one of the wines that was popular back then. It was
It
a
was good?
lovely
Yeah.
rosé.
The real story is I looked for wines to go on that episode. And then
Remember the
recently,
wine.
Fred Meyer has this great
Yeah, go to
50%.
Fred
Go to Fred Meyer, probably still got it, 50% off shelves. And this Matus rosé was on it. And I brought it home. I'm like, I don't know what to think about
Yeah.
this. And she says, that was one of the wines
That's amazing.
from,
One of the crappy wines from
but it was fine.
It's better now.
Yeah, it was a dry rosé. It was fantastic. Bodegas Elias Mora Descarte. Wow.
Descartes, isn't it Descartes?
It could be that. It was from Gary Vanderchuk.
It's a
And
French
that will
wine.
be one wine that we look to find on one of those last sales. Bodegas Faustino.
So they reach out to us wineries, the Gary Van.
Yeah.
Oh,
group,
really?
Yeah, this
and
is
they
good.
Want,
It's
they
like
want
the
to
Costco of wine.
Yeah,
for their
probably.
program. They want the stuff at 80% off retail.
80% off retail.
They want it, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So they are finding some desperate folks,
No, I get that. That's I
or
know.
for us, it'd be like we either get rid of this or we build a new building, kind of thing.
Right.
So I was like, that's why I know, because I'm like, I gotta. We're
Get
too
rid of
full.
some.
We've seen a number of Walla Walla wines come through, and I can't think of any off the top of my head, but that are doing that they have.
Yeah.
And the quality's got to be there because they have their name
Yeah.
behind it.
Mhm.
And it's got to be a win-win. And it is a win-win. These wineries are able to get rid of this wine without taking a huge loss. Maybe it's a push, but they get rid of it. They get a check. And then
Some
the Gary Vee Wine
exposure.
Club comes in and throws out a text.
And it doesn't look like it's in a grocery store, like
Right.
on the back
Bottom
end.
shelf.
Yeah.
Yep.
right.
Exactly. So business 101, really.
Mhm.
Bodegas Faustino Art Collection Rioja. We also got that from Fred Meyer. It was good Rioja. Ryan Patrick Naked Chardonnay. We haven't had that for a while. It's pretty good. As you know, last week we did the Gardet Brut non-vintage champagne because it was World Champagne Day last Friday.
Minus
What-
the French fries.
Yeah,
It was minus French
I
fries.
had some champagne too.
Good.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
should. Yeah.
I feel like you and I could drink champagne. Just
Well,
together.
Shelley goes to sleep.
that's okay. We
Why
have
not?
a little and then like go to sleep.
nap.
It's fine.
Okay. Mark, we can go elsewhere after that.
Have
So,
some scotch.
Yeah.
do you want to talk about some announcements in the future?
There's hardly any.
No, there's a whole bunch. Remember, we have a wine day calendar, so you can look at these wine days, but we have National Zinfandel Day on the 15th. That's coming up. Remember, we have Merlot and Tempranillo Day next week. So think about that. We also have Beaujolais Nouveau Day.
That's
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you like Kool-Aid. And Marilee Bromhall with Iola wines. That's not on your notes. Coming the 17th. That's a very interesting model that she's got. Carmenere Day. Who doesn't like Carmenere?
Love it.
It's amazing.
That is the 24th. National Cabernet Franc Day.
And you have
My
one.
yeah.
I mean, these are like my two wine. I shouldn't do that, but these two wines are my very favorite varietals: Carmenere and Cabernet Franc. They're back to back. National Prohibition Repeal Day. not sure what we're going to do about that, but it seems fun.
Drink.
Yeah, exactly. November 25th is this year's Apple Cup. And on the 1st, we will drink to the winner. We have a Passing Time and a double back or a Bledsoe family wine. Next week, our last rendition of our Paso Robles series with Turtle Rock from Tin City. Huge thanks to this week's sponsors, 3D Kitchens by Design, CDA Gourmet. Don't forget, go tomorrow to their kickoff. Say hi to Santa. Say Shelley and Phil sent you. You'll probably see us there. And Revora down on Sherman Avenue in Coeur d'Alene. Do we have any parting shots? I have nothing in my glass. So
Or something. What do you want?
Yeah. You have a Semillon? I am such a bad person. I have to do this, Syrah.
Just pour it.
I'm going to.
You can have it a second job if you want.
I
Third
could.
job?
Might have a little more of that.
There we go.
I'm pretty happy with that, how that's going.
It really is. I mean, it really is. With a little bit of knowledge.
A little bit of Tablas Creek, too.
Yes, wine becomes a lot less overwhelming. Thank you for joining us. See you next week when we talk to Chris Burns with Turtle Rock in Tin City. See you next week. Have a great weekend. It's a wrap.
Thank you for spending part of your day to wind down with Shelley and Phil. Remember, you can listen to any episode of the Wine Time Fridays podcast by visiting winetimefridays.com or wherever you get your podcasts. And join us on our Wine Time Fridays Facebook page, Instagram, or on Twitter, which is @VintageTweets, for daily conversation. Until next week, here's our toast to you, to health, wealth, abundance, gratitude, peace on earth, and of course, romance.